Before we begin, I need you to understand something. What I'm about to tell you isn't fiction. Lock your doors, turn off the lights, and whatever you do, don't convince yourself that these things only happen to other people. When I was 15 years old, I found a grown man hiding inside a 5-year-old's bedroom closet. The part that still keeps me awake at night isn't that he was there. It's that he had probably been there long before I ever noticed. At the time, babysitting felt like the easiest way to make money. The family lived 2 streets away from us, in a neighborhood where nothing ever happened. The lawns were trimmed, porch lights stayed on all night. People waved when they drove past you. I had babysat for them 3 times before, and every evening had been quiet and predictable. Their son Charlie was 5 years old, shy, obsessed with dinosaurs. He liked routine: dinner at 7, bed at 8:30, nightlight on, closet door closed. That night began like all the others. His parents ordered pizza before leaving and reminded me to double-check the doors. I remember sliding the deadbolt into place and testing it twice. I even checked the back door. Locked, windows closed, everything felt secure. Charlie insisted on showing me his toy collection after dinner. His bedroom was small but cozy, with blue walls and glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. A yellow nightlight near his bed cast a soft halo across the carpet. In the corner of the room stood a white closet with sliding doors. It looked completely ordinary. He was halfway through explaining which dinosaur could run the fastest in real life when he stopped talking. He turned his head slowly toward the closet. "It moved," he said. I smiled automatically. "What moved?" "The closet door." I glanced at it. It was shut, still, quiet. "It's probably just the house settling," I told him gently. "Old houses make noises. That's what adults always say." He didn't argue, but he didn't look convinced either. To reassure him, I walked over and slid the closet door open. Inside were hanging clothes, a few toy bins, and a laundry hamper in the corner. Nothing unusual. I even stepped closer and nudged the hamper slightly with my foot to show him there was nothing hiding behind it. Satisfied, I closed the door. He climbed into bed, and I tucked the blanket under his chin. I left the nightlight on, switched off the main light, and told him I'd be downstairs if he needed anything. About 20 minutes later, I heard a faint thud through the baby monitor. It wasn't loud, just enough to make me pause mid-step. I stood there listening. Silence followed. I told myself it was probably him shifting in bed. Then I heard something else, a soft sliding sound, like wood brushing against wood. The closet door. I felt a flicker of irritation at myself for getting unsettled so easily. I walked upstairs, telling myself I'd open the door again, prove nothing was there, and end this imaginary fear. When I reached his room, the door was slightly ajar. The nightlight cast long shadows across the walls. Charlie was sitting up in bed, staring toward the closet. "It did it again," he whispered. The closet door was open about an inch, just enough to notice. A small current of cold air moved across my arms. I stepped forward slowly and slid the door open wider. At first, everything looked exactly the same as before. Hanging shirts, plastic bins, the white laundry hamper. Then I noticed the hamper wasn't touching the wall anymore. It had shifted forward slightly, and behind it, something moved. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't fast. Just a subtle adjustment, like someone repositioning their weight. My brain tried to reject what my eyes were processing. I remember staring, waiting for it to make sense, waiting for it to turn into something harmless. Instead, A hand slowly gripped the side of the hamper. A human hand. Filthy fingernails, pale knuckles. And then, a face emerged from behind it. He was crouched so low his knees were practically against his chest. His eyes locked onto mine instantly. There was no panic in his expression, no surprise at being discovered, just a steady, silent stare. For a moment, neither of us moved. Then Charlie let out a small sound behind me, and that broke whatever trance had frozen me in place. I grabbed him without looking away from the man and backed toward the bedroom door. The man didn't lunge. He didn't speak. He just stayed there, crouched in the closet, watching us leave. The moment we stepped into the hallway, I ran. I locked us inside the bathroom and called 911 with shaking hands. My voice sounded distant to my own ears as I explained that there was someone inside the house. Charlie clung to me, confused and crying quietly. Within minutes, police sirens filled the street. Officers searched the entire house. The closet was empty. The back door, which I was certain I had locked, was now slightly open. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken windows, no noise reported by neighbors. It was as if he had simply slipped in and out of the house like a shadow. Charlie's parents rushed home in shock. The police told us it was likely someone who had been watching the house for days, waiting for an opportunity. Maybe he entered before I arrived. Maybe he came in while I was downstairs. That thought still unsettles me the most. The idea that he might have been in that closet the entire evening, listening to us laugh, listening to us eat, watching. I never babysat again after that night. And even now, years later, I can't sleep in a room with a closed closet door. Because sometimes, the most terrifying thing isn't the moment you discover someone hiding in the dark. It's realizing they were already there, long before you thought to look.